So we're here in the studio with Trinity, which, this is fun. This is my first time meeting you, so welcome.
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you here.
Glad
And
to be
so you, coming up, we have the GoPro Mountain Games, which is kind of like the official kickoff for summer.
Absolutely.
And so you happen to be one of the athletes that competes at the GoPro Mountain Games, yes?
Yes.
And how long have you been competing over there?
I competed a long time ago. In mountain biking was the first time that I competed.
Email?
And then I started competing in
Das ist gut.
games as a stand-up paddler in 2016.
Okay,
So
so
this is my third year.
stand-up paddling. So for people that maybe they haven't tried it before, what is it? I mean, obviously you started off with mountain biking, but then switching over. What was it about the sport of stand-up paddling that just captured you?
That's an excellent question. So I have been an athlete my whole life, and I wanted to get on the river, and my boyfriend works for Stand Up Paddle Colorado, which does guiding along the Colorado River, and they teach you how to go down class 1 and 2 up to 3, depending on what time of year, water. And then I did their guide school, and then I was hooked. So then it was, how many rivers can I go down, and just learning all the different techniques, as well as learning different features about eddy lines, holes, things to avoid, and it's really opened up the state of Colorado for me, because
Right.
I've lived here a really long time, and it's a whole new view. And I love it.
This is something I think for a lot of people that are familiar with stand-up paddling, they're thinking, okay, like well, let's be honest. For me, it's on a flat surface, maybe on like a lake, or somewhere that there are not waves or rocks or rivers.
Mm-hmm.
But the way, of course, that it happens here in Colorado, and especially the GoPro Mountain Games, it is on a river. So I mean, it's a little bit different than what you would typically experience at like a resort or something.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people learn on lakes, and they come out and they're like, hey, I've been on the Intercoastal, I've lived in Texas, I do it on the lake. And out here, we have this opportunity to learn in a really safe environment, like on the Upper Colorado, which is right out near State Bridge. And you can learn on a lake and learn the basics as far as being what your balance point is. So it's similar to skiing more than snowboarding. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to jump into a surf stance. And it's absolutely about being centered and knowing to look at the horizon line. A lot of things are the same. So back and forth and forward and backwards, proper stroke to protect the body. And it's just a lot of fun. And Nottingham, right here in Avon, offers stand-up paddleboarding with Stand Up Paddle Colorado. And you can learn, and I taught stand-up paddle yoga there last year. And so that gives you a lot of knowledge about core strength as well as edge to edge. So it's a lot of fun.
And some really good incentive not to fall off too.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
But if you do, it
not a
is
big
what
deal.
it is. Yeah.
Sure. And so, okay, for people, that, they maybe have been a little bit intimidated to try it, or maybe they've never been to the GoPro Mountain Games to see how these competitions kind of happen. What would be, first of all, your recommendation for GoPro Mountain Games? What's the best way to, to watch it? How do you recommend people experience it?
Well, there's 2 races for stand-up paddle, and the one is the downriver race that goes from East Vail all the way to International Bridge. And that is a great event because you can place yourself at different parts of the race. So you could go the Ford Park hole, so you could see some carnage if you wanted, because there's a nice big wave in there, and if you're not set in that line, you could
going down.
Yeah, you could go down. In my first race, I fell, I think, 5 times. So my whole goal is not to compete against anyone else. It's absolutely to do better than I did last year. And last year I got in the top 10, which in this race is a really big deal because we do have people flying in from Japan.
Right.
We've got ex-Olympians like Rebecca Giddens, and we've got, the best paddler in the world. She was there last year, and it's a really fun event. And then for Sup Cross, which is when you all go against each other, that starts at Loaded Joe's and Bridge Street, and then you do these maneuvers all the way through until you reach International Bridge, and it is a wild time. You never know what's going to happen because you can run into somebody else and pull them off their game. You can get flushed down the river. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. Well, listen, of course we're out of time. There's just never enough time. But thank you so much for coming on
I
this
really
morning,
appreciate
and
being asked.
best of luck
Thank
this
you.
year. It's gonna be so good. I feel like podium spot for sure.
Oh, girl.
I'm predicting.
I love
it. Well, listen,
Thank you so much.
Epic
all right,
Morning is brought to you by
Trinity, I can
TBA.
tell.
Follow us on
Okay, coming up next, we're going to take a look at your local weather forecast.